You know, think about that just for a second. Is that the kind of adventure that this energy produces? He got up here and he talked way too long, but wonderfully so, and not once did he mention what he did. Not once. It was all about others. I thought that was fantastic. You know, in the early days of the surf culture, the tribes were scattered, and what brought them together were surf movies. And it was more than just getting together. They looked up on that big screen and they saw a depiction of who they were, maybe not even, what they were yet. They were turning into it. They were becoming. And they identified with themselves, with that imagery of them up on the screen. And maybe they looked up there and they said, yes, that's us, that's me. And it was important for them to gather together. Now, as a filmmaker myself, I have a great appreciation for the online clip or the Instagram and all that kind of the stuff that you see on your computers. But when it comes to creating a culture and bringing people together, there's nothing like a film. There's nothing like getting together, sitting down, whether it's you and two other people, or if it's in a theater or a big room, and watching the imagery up on the screen. And just like in those early days of surfing, in the early days of stand-up paddling, the people that are committed to going out there and making those films are really helping create the self-identity and the culture of stand-up paddling. So we would like to now move on to our next award, and that is for the top film.
Movie of the Year. With H2Mexico, his follow-up to H2 Indo, Brent Deal weaves together multiple storylines as he further delves into the lives of some of the sport's best athletes. Deal artfully paints the personalities he films in a light his audiences can grab onto. Every few years, an estimated 100 million Hindus gather along the Ganges River for the Kumbh Mela. During the making of Karma Bums, Ryan Som and crew witnessed this epic pilgrimage, then floated 130 miles on India's most revered waterway.
Those are two fantastic representations of this sport. And the winner of Movie of the Year is Brent Deal for H2Mexico.
Pretty geek, Sam. That's my wife. That's my wife. Wow. I was more nervous back there than I thought I would be. I've seen a lot in the last 4 years. I've been, I think, uniquely blessed to see what I've seen these last 4 years. 4 years ago, I met Joe Carberry on a plane to Indonesia for the first movie we did, and we talked the whole time about how to set up a story, how to set it up, how to pay it off, and I got to thank Joe, and I got to thank Will and SUP Mag, but I got to thank Joe because I don't know that I would have tried to bite as much as I did and do a whole feature film. We thought we were going over there to get YouTube clips. And he taught me a lot, and I owe a lot to Joe. Joe, are you there? Joe? And before I go on a rant, because I feel a rant coming on, I'm gonna thank my wife. She's become kind of that famous sign in Ansel Adams' darkroom that you're only as famous, you're only as good as what gets past this door. And she's kind of become that for me. And, well, she's a lot nicer to look at than the sign, but she's done that. Chuck Patterson came to me 4 years ago with his idea, which was rad. And he said, Brent, I think what you can do is you can document the beginning of this sport as it kind of starts to take over the world. And I said, Chuck, what sport? What are you talking about? And since then, in the last 4 years, Chuck has been such a tremendous, such a tremendous partner. We've disagreed a lot. We've had a lot of arguments. But he respects me enough to say, you know what, Brent? Do your thing. And I owe him a huge thank you for that. Because like everybody in this room, if Chuck and I got in a fight, I have no idea who would win. What are you laughing at? In 4 years, here's my rant, I've seen Slater Trout go from being a man-child to a man-man. I've seen Talia DeCoit do an entire movie based on kindness, because that's what's inside that tremendous woman's heart. I've definitely seen the Brown Blur not only become a dear friend, but escalate himself into the realm of elite paddler and surfer. Jamie Mitchell came to me and said, hey, help me document my 10th trip across the channel. I have been in awe in watching Connor Baxter do things that Dave Kalama thought were impossible. And with Dave Kalama, it's a little embarrassing, but he has given me counsel and friendship, and I'm from Hollywood. I don't expect people on the top rung to call people down below back. In fact, every time when I look down at my phone, when Dave Kalama's calling, I see it on the phone, like no matter where I am, I'm like, I gotta take this! Dave Kalama! You're blowing me up! Danny Ching, when I hired a company to bring his board back from Mexico, they completely obliterated his $7,000 brand new one-man canoe. And Danny knew how much money I'd already put into this movie, and he let me off the hook. And Danny, I just very publicly wanted to say thank you. It really meant a lot to me, and it's appreciated. You got it. So thanks, Joe. Thank you, Will, for making these awards. I know I wanted to win this award, and not to diminish the award, but the things that I've seen these last 4 years are what I'm really proud of. So thank you guys out here for allowing me to see that.